And we have one more type of firewall. It's going to be the next generation firewall, which is, as we were saying, is nothing else but added features to the stateful firewalls. Like for example, identity-based access, which means that you can configure firewall rules to be based on usernames or security tags, which a regular firewall doesn't support that. URL filtering, so you can do URL filtering on a next generation firewall. So you're gonna configure. So with URL filtering, you can restrict actually at the HTTP header level which users can access which URLs. It's that simple. It's URL filtering. You can also have granular application visibility and control, which is very important nowadays, especially that if you think about it, pretty much everything goes over HTTP or HTTPS. So nowadays you do Facebook, LinkedIn, Google, YouTube, Gmail, Yahoo Mail, everything runs pretty much over web, over HTTP or HTTPS. Then it's no longer enough to say I'm going to allow traffic on port 80 and 443 to exit my network. You want to be able to know what happens over those ports. And for example, if we speak about Facebook, you can even go to be more granular. So you're going to configure a firewall policy which states I want to allow Facebook traffic from the LAN towards the internet, but I want to allow only specific Facebook traffic. Like you may want to allow only chatting, but disallow audio Facebook traffic and video Facebook traffic. We may disallow users being able to upload documents on a Facebook chat. You can allow them to communicate, so only chat. So not only you have application visibility, you can configure firewall policies based on allow Facebook traffic, allow YouTube traffic, and so on. But for applications which have multiple features, like as I was saying with Facebook, where you can chat, upload documents, you can do audio, you can do an audio call, you can do a video call in there. Then for those kinds of applications, you can even have granular control over which features are allowed. So you may configure the firewall to allow chatting, but don't allow uploading of documents and audio calls, for example. Now this is something that it is needed nowadays. It's no longer enough to just say I want to allow TCP port 80 and 443 out of the network. They also have next generation IPS, which on a regular firewall it's just regular IPS. I'm going to speak about this later on. And also what is known as, if we speak about Cisco, advanced malware protection. Other vendors name it some other way. What AMP does with Cisco, it scans content flowing to the router back and forth, like SMTP attachments or email or web attachments, for example. It scans content to defend against known and unknown malware. So it's an advanced malware system which can detect not only known malware, so based on like a signature. It's actually done based on a fingerprint, but either way, so it can not only match on known malware, but also it can match, identify, and drop unknown malware, so defend against zero-day attacks. So what is your best option to use? All of them are still required and commonly used within all networks, because all of them still are useful in different places of the network. Like regular ACLs, most importantly, let's say PACLs, are still going to be used as dynamic access filtering through the use of .1x. So you can go ahead and watch my SISAS class, the CCNP class. What this means is that you're going to have your users and all of your endpoints connected to the network to be authenticated via MAP or .1x. Authentication is going to be done via radius, and then the radius server is going to push to the switch or to the access point an access list, which is going to be applied on a layer 2 port, so a PACL, which is going to control what traffic can the connected endpoint or user send in the network. So still useful. The stateless packet filters are still useful and heavily used. Another option for the ACLs are going to be that, as you're going to see, the stateful firewalls are going to be making use of access lists as a basic filtering method. Both stateful firewalls and next generation firewalls are going to be doing that. Those are going to be called oracles at that point. Application layer gateways are used for advanced SMTP and HTTP inspection and traffic control. Everybody uses those. So the SMTP, let's say anti-spam gateway, or for HTTP the web proxy. Everybody has those in the network, like most companies, of course. And they're going to be deployed in the DMZ because of the way it works. Because as you remember, what happens is that the client speaks when a client on the LAN side wants to speak with Google, wants to browse Google, he's going to send a request to the server, to the web proxy in the DMZ, and then the web proxy in the DMZ is going to send a request out to the internet, to Google. So the client never speaks with the destination, with the real server in the end. So because this service has to speak with both the outside world, the internet, and the inside world, the LAN, that's why you're going to put that firewall in the DMZ of your network towards the edge, in one of the DMZs. And then stateful and next generation firewalls are going to be deployed always at network edges, because you want as much control as possible on traffic going back and forward from the internet and to the internet. So why are you going to use stateful or next generation stateful firewalls? Because those provide a rich feature set that's highly required nowadays. So as you can see, each of the firewalls which we've been discussing are still going to be heavily used in all networks, but for different purposes. And then if we speak about Cisco stateful firewalls, we have the ASA firewall, which is a dedicated platform. We're going to speak after this session. And then we have the iOS context-based access controller, or CBAC, which is likewise a stateful firewall, but it's a security feature on iOS routers. It is considered obsolete. And we have the iOS zone-based policy firewall, which is a security feature on routers and replaces CBAC. So CBAC and zone-based policy firewall are not, let's say, dedicated firewalls, are just features which are going to be enabled on iOS or iOS 6e routers.